Well, we get a Genesis in the shop today. Worked on one of these before, did the big turbo on it. You can check out the video on that with the quad single exit with the drift bumper and everything. This one is actually his brother's car. They're both gray. They're pretty cool. Did the big turbo on that one. This one's got the quad exhaust, one on each side. It's got some pretty sweet wheels on it. This one, kind of has a lip and some stuff. And we did exhaust video on this as well, and intake and stuff, and it sounds cool and everything. But the turbo failed on this one, so I did a wastegate on this video too, an external wastegate. So yeah, the turbo fails. So instead of changing that turbo and stuff, he wants to mix stuff in a little bit. And we're not going like huge turbo, which was a 57 mil, and this stock one is, I believe, a 26 or something like that. So we're not going to go big time 57. He got this cool little 36 mil. I mean, it's pretty cool looking turbo. It's got a pretty small back housing on it, so that'd be cool. Yeah, pretty nice looking little unit. It's Amazon. It's like $200 or so. So I mean, it's not the greatest, but we're just gonna see if the size is good. I mean, going from a 26 or 28 to a 36. So we'll see if this has got enough low end for them, but still the top end. And then if this is good, upgrade to like a real deal turbo later. But I'm gonna fit this up. Got one of our flanges here. This is the Genesis flange. So we'll build a header out of that. Got a box of tube in there. So we're gonna build a header, and it's a little bottom mount there. So we're gonna put it up top, just like his brother's big turbo was. A little less twisty, a little more simple, easy to work on. So we can change the turbo to the better one if he's liking this setup, or he can change it to a bigger one. It's a T3 flange, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. Maybe have to change the downpipe and the intake pipe in a little bit if he changes the turbo, but typical T3 flange, as long as he stays with that, should be good to go. So we'll kind of get rid of most of this crap. I had to move the fuse panel on the other one back here, so I don't know if I have to do that or not. This is probably going to be in the way for sure, but move the turbo forward a little bit or something. I'm not sure. Maybe in this area. Put the filter right on the turbo. The other one had the intake that wrapped around. He's had the sweet little hood scoop and everything. But we'll try to maybe just put the filter right on it. Don't know yet. We'll see. But first we got to get rid of all this crap and throw it in the bin. There's a better look at it. Got some of the intake crap out of the way here. You can see the little bottom mount turbo there. Just chilling down in there. Put this external wastegate on it to control it a little better. Nice to be able to change the spring and adjust and stuff. Get this welded. The internal one welded solid, so that was all good. Got the pipe here between the two oxygen sensors, so it already has a catless downpipe that we made and all that jazz. But yeah, so we're gonna take this out, make a header, swoop it up, put the turbo up top here so we can change it out and just nice to look at. Got a new wastegate, not sure where we're gonna put that. Somewheres, make it easier to change. On the other one, we put it down in behind just because there was no room, because it was super long, twisty header. But this one's going to be a simpler header, so we can put this in a more accessible spot. So that'll be nice. So, yeah, but it's held up pretty good. It ran this way all summer pretty well. But this thing just gets so hot. I mean, look, it took the paint right off it, and like it's just wild. It turned it gold. It just gets hot as shit. High heat paint. Gone off the screamer pipe there. Gone. Yeah, so let's get this out. There, we get the old turbo setup out. I welded this downpipe I made right to the old turbo because the bolts all broke off, and he was in a hurry to go to a car show the next day and all that stuff. So we knew we were going to change his turbo anyway, so it was kind of a throwaway. So we just welded it straight to the flange, and it's held up. It bolted on here and it all came out anyways. So yeah, that's it. There's the log manifold out. That's what it looks like. This is the external wastegate I put on top. And yeah, it's just a little guy. Get the other one set next to it. There's the difference. So yeah, got that all out of the way. This is what we're left with. Turn the light on here. So I'll get the header flange all in there. And I don't know if I'm going to move this box or not. The fuse box, I moved it back here on his brother's for more room. It definitely gives a lot more room. And it's not that big of a deal to move it. Just set it right on top here. I might do that. But I like to catch can in that spot and stuff, so we'll see. But yeah, so somewhere we have to fit the turbo right in here, and the downpipe and the header and everything. But yeah, we got our part. There's all the parts on the bench. And time to start fabricating instead of taking stuff apart. Let's go. Got the turbo all fitted in spot. It's going to be a bottom mount, but the header's going to be on top, so it'll swoop all around like that and then go in. So that'll look pretty cool, but yet you'll still see the turbo. The oil line ran on the bottom, so just gonna run that around on the top. Here's the drain, that's all hooked up on the bottom, so not worried about this stuff right now. Got the downpipe made. Pretty simple. Got the suction sensor holes there. Now this is just a little 2-inch pipe, 2 1/4 maybe, something like that. So I just use this stock flange there, and if he goes 3-inch, which he might, I'll just cut that off and V-band that down there, but it hooked up to the stock flange, so I just welded on that, so that's good. And this just goes straight down. And now that I got this done, I can start working on the pipes that go in here into the collector. And that's where it's going to sit. That should look pretty cool. Right behind the headlight like that. Lots of room. So just wrap them headers around back into there. And that's where we're at now. It's time to start mashing up some pipes. Got the header all tacked up into place. Looking pretty sick. All twisted like I want it to be. Turbo looks good sitting there. So it's a bottom mount, but kind of like a hybrid because you can still see it. It's not all tucked up underneath. And the header all twists around, so you see lots of the header. Looking sweet. Everything turned out just like I wanted it to. Looks perfect. Nice easy access to this bolt here, or the V-band here to take off the downpipe. Easy to get at all the bolts and stuff. Nice and easy to work on, just like we like it. Looking beautiful. That should look badass. Clears the hood. That looks much better than stock. Flow way better than stock. Nice long tubes. That's sweet. I am going to put some heat shield the tape here. And I'll have to put some heat shields here around the fuse box that I made in the battery for these back pipes. But that looks sweet. And I got this blanket for the power steering lines, covering them up. Got the lines for the turbo, the feed and return. Got that ran into the motor. I just got to run them into the turbo, but I want to get the header mocked up first. But yeah, that looks sweet. Can't wait to get those finished up and see what the final product looks like. But she's coming along. Made some big progress on the turbo build here. Got the headers all welded up. Took each pipe off and got them all welded. Still got to finish welding around here and in there. Take this off and weld them to here and weld them to the head flange, but the pipes are all welded and mounted to the coupler here pretty good. Just fitting some more stuff before I take it apart. Got the wastegate mounted. That turned out pretty sweet. It just goes down there into the down pipe. Decided to build a carrier for the turbo, something to hold the weight, because the way it's hanging way off the front, not close or in the middle at all, and then the down pipe's just kind of on a flex pipe, so it's not really holding anything. So put a mount here to hold the weight, and I'm pretty sure I looked up online, this is not a 36 like he told me when I was looking it up, because I needed to get parts for the oil feed. When I looked it up, I'm pretty sure this is just a really small housing. I want to say it's like a 62 or something like that, or a high 50, something. It's a 52. That's what it was. It's 52 mil. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, something like that. Anyways, I got this made to connect to the factory intercooler. This is 2.5 to 2 inch reducer. The factory intercooled piping is 2 inch, so that's all good there. And yeah, coming along pretty good. Almost got her done. Still got to take this bastard off and get it welded up. But that's mostly it. But this just looks really ugly. I mean, that looks great over there. This is really ugly, so I'm gonna make a cover as kind of like a surprise for him, I guess, because I did the cover on his brother's car and it looked way better. It just covers up all this janky hoses and wiring and everything. It just looks awful. So we'll get I decided to build a frame for this one. The other one was just the buck side of a Silverado. It kind of worked out, kind of the way it tapered in, and then I just notched it and welded a piece on the front. It worked out pretty good. But I'm building a framework for this one, so let's take a look at that. Here's the framework for it, all laid out of this 3/8 rod here. Bends over the intake pipe here, over and around. So I'll just sheet this in. Wraps around the front here. Sheet this all in. Paint it. That'll be a pretty sick cover. Cover most of the ugliness of it. And then you can be able to just look at that over there, and that'll be a cover. Come off. And that'll look much nicer. There's everything all stripped out. Ready to be welded up. Downpipe's already welded up. Gotta reinforce this mount right here. This is where the turbo's going to sit. It's only like half a mount here, so I'm going to box this in a little better. Just needs to sit on it, nothing major. Get that done. Get that. Hopefully it won't bother the hood too bad. And get the trim piece all sheeted in. Just working on welding it up and cleaning it up. There's the oil cap and the dipstick hole. So that should look pretty cool. I'll paint it up. Hopefully, we'll see. And here's the header. Working on welding that. Get it in my jig here so it don't warp. Header looks pretty sick. Nice and sweeping and good flowing. Yeah, that's nice. Much better than this piece of crap. The old log style. Get about this much flow. And it's all shared in this one tiny little port, about like that big. Each runner is about the size of the port on that. These are 1 3/4 headers into a 3-inch collector. She's looking pretty good. So let that cool down. I'll flip it over. This is upside down because it's supposed to swoop around the top. So we'll flip it over and do the top side once it cools down. And then we got to put our little piece in here in the middle and then seal all up around there, weld in there, seal the pipes together and buff it up, paint it, and she'll be ready to go. Got the setup all finished and painted, but first we'll check out this one. This one's the stock setup. I just want to show the difference here. It's also a bottom mount with a log manifold. Little guy hanging on the bottom so you don't even see it. It had a wastegate here, and the outgoing tube went there, air filter here. Kind of went over some stuff here. This was like right behind the headlight as well, right where this one will be. So it's same deal, it's just this one has an extension, this one don't. And yeah, it's pretty tight little package there. Added that went into there. I stole this pipe. So yeah, it's pretty cute little setup, but this is way better. You can just look at them. I'm gonna get much better flow out of this. The wastegate there, it dumps back into the downpipe. Nice headers that wrap around. All painted up and looking good. Nice long runners on them. Nice smooth downpipe with the O2 sensors in it. Nice and away from the heat, easy to get to. Everything should be pretty work on. Here's the standoff bracket to hold the weight of the turbo. So yeah, she's all wrapped up. So just gonna let this dry a little more. I did some touch-up paint work there. Yeah, probably have to do some more touch-up, putting it in because I'll probably scratch it all hell. Putting it in, hopefully not. There it is. Discharge pipe there. So yeah, we're gonna try to. I think I'm gonna try to put it in all as one piece because it should go in pretty easy. I do believe, because I really don't want to separate the wastegate because I had some fitment issues there and had to make a little adjustment there. Had to. Ended up being a little too short, not in the right place, so I had to work with that. So maybe it's good now, maybe, like it should be, but you know, the warping of everything, hopefully this should be the only adjustment, should be good. But yeah, this is the twisty headers for the Genesis. All right, here's the engine cover all finished up, painted, clear coated, looking pretty sick. I think I did like 2 different color blues as the base coat, and then sprayed black on top. But before I sprayed the black, I set down the logo stencil and then sprayed over in black, and then sanded the black back off, left some here and down in the corner on the front area, and then sanded it through, and then let it kind of like ghost come through and be like kind of like a worn look, and then clear coat it over, put my logo on there. So that should look way better than all that wiring and all that crap. And then with that sweet turbo setup on the side over here, should definitely bring the engine bay to life and look good. Here it is, the final product, all done and looking beautiful. The engine cover turned out beautiful. Really cleans up the look. And I moved the boost solenoid controllers that used to be mounted here and looking shitty and all hosey, and electrical connectors and all that stuff. And it was right next to the exhaust anyway, so that's bad. So now they're all back here under the engine cover. I just need a fitting for this, and some constant tension clamps for right here, and there. So those couple things, and this will be done, and we can try it out. It turned out beautiful. The paint on the headers is beautiful. The turbo placement, everything's great. Everything went back together, no problems. Got the downpipe in there. Painted that black. It turned out sweet. Got the little turbo blanket on. It kind of doesn't fit super great because of the mount here, the standoff, but that's okay. It's still wrapped around. It still protects the power steering lines. So that's good. All them lines are covered and hidden. That looks spiffy. All painted up. Covers everything. It's notched out for the tube. That looks pretty sweet. Covers everything. You can see what a disaster that is underneath there. Don't got to worry about any of that. Cover comes off super easy. So yeah, that's the final product. Love it. Love it. Love how it turned out. Much better. Now you got something to look at when you open the hood instead of just this turd. So anyways, a little bit of the fittings. Put that together and we can test it out for leaks and this and that, and we can get a sound clip. Let's go. Well, we got her all done and outside. Get the leaks all checked. Had it running for a little bit. Looks pretty good. It rained, so it cleaned all the dirt off it that was sitting on it, so that's good. The light in the shop is yellow, so it looks kind of stupid. So let's see what it looks like under the hood. In the daylight. There we go. As she looks like in the natural light. It looked a lot more gold with the yellow light shining on it, but it's more like it's called cast iron, so it's kind of a gray kind of look to it. Yeah, that's the whole look of her. Looks pretty sweet. So we'll start her up and get a cold start video and see what she sounds like. Well, the test drive went good, worked good, sounded good. That was all great. But yeah, there's some issues. That heat crap was no good, so I had to rip that all off. Cut out all the bracing on this side, and it like took the paint right off. It stuck right to it, so I had to take all that. So I have to paint that again in here. So I took the bracing off just to get it away from it. I mean, it wasn't touching, but it was just so close that, anyways, just took it off to make it whatever. But yeah, put a nice little cut in the hood there, so that's cool. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put like a, yeah, there it is right there. This fucking boo, it fucking sucks, fucked it up. So what we'll do is we'll do a little design just like this with the black and the blue to bring them together. I guess we'll put it down the middle here, a little doodle design or something like that, just to cover that up, fix that, cover it up and shit. So yeah, fucked up big time on that one. You know, don't know till you know. Mistakes happen, and not everything goes to plan. So yeah, got more work to do, I guess. So the hood won't be gray anymore. I mean, it'll be gray, but not like totally gray. So yeah, we'll get all this crap cleaned off, all these sticky things that held these panels on, and all the leftover from the phone. Well, that seemed to be okay. But anywho, it's all cleaned up. Paint this black in here, and then fix the hood and do that, and we'll see if we can get back on track. Well, here's part of our fix up for the fuck up on the back side of the hood. Anyway, we're gonna put this little guy, this little devil guy. It's kind of like a mural on the inside of the hood Figured we'd put a little devil on there because heat's our problem. So make it nice and hot. So we got a blue, black background up here. And then we made him bigger, obviously. He's much bigger. Then we got some fire coming up around here. I've got him started. Started filming in. Looks pretty cool. So anyhow, so yeah, it'll kind of look like that once he's colored in and stuff. Nasty little guy. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Kind of turn a fuck up into a positive thing. I think that'll look pretty cool. Kind of like the cold up top, transferring over to heat, and that'll match with the blue with the engine cover. And the fuck up on the inside will be fixed anyways. And then we'll have to try to make the top side of the hood look nice. But let's keep painting away at this and keep going. See if we can make this not look like crap. Get the hood back on the car. Make sure we don't mess up the bottom side when we set it down on the tires or something. So I just mounted it on the car. So we just get this one patch to do. Even that all up. Then we can paint this. We got the little demon all painted. It looks pretty cool on the inside. So we can open up the hood. You can see the engine cover and the headers and all that stuff. And then when you look up, got a little demon up there. So I think that looks pretty cool. Made the most of a fuck up. It's a Bob Ross special. Happy little accident. Screwed up, but it ended up looking pretty cool. Pretty cool little guy. He's over the flames of the header there. I think that looks pretty neat. Stupid light, can't see nothing. But anywho, yeah. A little demon guy. Turned out pretty sweet. Pretty handsome little fella. So yeah, get that all done. Hopefully it looks pretty good. So there's that. Now we can just fix our fuck up on the top here. Paint this up and we might have something. There's the blue layer of the hood all done. Got the dark and the light. And then we'll let that dry. And we'll spray the black on and then sand it and expose it. And it'll look like the bottom cover. And hopefully that'll look like something. I think the bodywork turned out pretty good. But anywho, so yeah, let it dry and spray some black on there. There it is, the final product. The hood all done and painted. It's still the clear coat's still drying, so it's a little wet. But it looks pretty cool. There's some of that blue in there, just like the engine cover. Spotted in there throughout. Got a little bit of dust here. I can wipe that off, wait for this to dry, then wipe that off. But the lines are clean, didn't get no runs or bleeding. Doesn't look too bad for what we started with, which was a disaster. So I think it looks pretty cool. Hopefully you don't mind. And there it is. We'll get a better video of it outside once it dries and we'll take it out. But that's it for now.